be back. Good Thursday evening. As I said, it's a busy Thursday evening. It's also kind of a sad Thursday evening for me. This is the last time Clarion University President Dr. Diane Reinhard will be joining us on this show since feedback is almost done. So
sad for me also.
I know, it's very sad for me. So we're going to be talking to her about a variety of things. It's just going to be a fun half hour. But first, it's something that really totally off the subject of, and it's talking sports. I rarely ever talk sports. That's what we have the sports show on Wednesday night for. But tonight I saw this on the satellite feed, and I thought this would be of some interest. Security precautions are being stepped up at Chicago's Wrigley Field just before opening day at the ballpark this Friday. New black windscreens have been installed on fences around the ballpark to obstruct the view of the playing field from the roofs of the surrounding buildings. Now, if you know anything about Chicago and Wrigley Field, that was one of the staples there, where you could sit on the rooftops and watch the ball game. John Dempsey from affiliate station WFLD has more on the story.
What they've done is they've erected a wall between themselves and the community.
They're acting in a very childlike fashion. It's more one of we're taking our bat and ball and going home in the middle of the game.
Wrigleyville neighbors aren't holding back their feelings about what they say is the Tribune Company's latest brushback pitch to the neighborhood. The installation of these tarps along the bleacher fences. Tarps that partially obscure the playing field from these rooftop decks across the street. Rooftop deck owner Jim Murphy of Murphy's Bleachers believes it's a silly attempt to tweak owners such as himself, because the tarps don't really obscure the view that much.
Right now, the tarps only block out maybe about 5% of the view. It's not that great of a deal, but it's more of a symbolic thing that the Cubs are doing.
Many believe what is really behind this whole thing is the Cubs' plan to expand the bleachers over the sidewalks of Waveland and Sheffield Avenues. Back on March 6th, Cubs president Mark McGuire told a packed community meeting that the plan is good for the Cubs and good for the neighborhood.
I think it creates a much more open feeling out there. Our architect, landscape architect, and the idea of taking the inside of the park and turning it to the outside with ivy and bricks and the brick sidewalk, I think people are reacting very positively to that.
However, many neighbors strongly disagree with that statement, and with a plan they say would add 2,000 fans to the already congested neighborhood.
That's 2,000 people. That's a 70% increase in pedestrian traffic on that corner. You have movement mayhem, and all this is going to spill out onto the residential streets that immediately surround Wrigley Field.
City Hall is blocking the Cubs' plan because of neighborhood opposition, and so neighborhood activists believe this is the Tribune Company's way of responding.
Seems rather childish at this point.
It just goes to show that they're not communicating with the community, that they really don't want to. All they're concerned about is what goes on within their walls. And now they've made a point to build that wall even higher.
Very interesting. I'm not a huge sports fan. If you know me, you know that. But I did, I've grown up watching the Cubs, you know, on my cable system. We have WGN out of Chicago. Never been to Chicago, not a resident of Chicago, don't know anything about Chicago, but I grew up watching the Cubs, watched Harry Carey sing the seventh inning stretch, you know, all those years, and I kind of, Wrigley Field kind of grew on me. That I thought it was so neat that these baseball fans were so into it that they were willing to go out and sit on the rooftops. And some of them were really nice rooftops they had, but some were just sitting on chairs out there. And I wish they would have had a wide shot in that story so you could see what these tarps are actually going to look like. I don't think it's going to be very impressive that you're going to look back and there's going to be tarps over Waveland Avenue. And I also don't think it's a good idea about how they're talking about adding, I think it was 2,000 seats back in the back of the field. There's just something about Wrigley Field. It's one of those old classic ballparks, and I just think it should stay that way. And I think the tarps are going to be ugly, and I don't know. Maybe they'll debate this on the sports show next week. Matt and you guys, what do you think? Maybe you should debate this on the show next week. So I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents in on that and give you that bit of information. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, talking about, you name it, everything coming up with Dr. Diane Reinhard. Say who's going to be here. Dr. Diane Reinhard talking about anything and everything after the break.
A portion of the programming was brought to you by the Clarion Bowl Arena, located on Route 322, 1 mile east of Clarion. Bowl Arena offers rock and bowl every Friday and Saturday night, and a game room with 8 pool tables and arcade games. Bowl Arena also offers bumper bowling for kids' birthdays and league play for adults. Call 764-3471. Again, that's 764-3471.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant. The Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant is located at 540 Main Street in Clarion and offers dining as well as a nightclub. The restaurant and nightclub are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant, 226-8400.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only thing I'm guilty of, giving you too much love, making you crazy, making you rap, making me fall, making me suspect. Seem to think I'm playing her game. Don't you know her? This is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
You're watching TV5 with Zeta Tau Alpha.
Welcome back to Feedback on this Thursday evening. I'm Mark Despotakis. Clarion University President Dr. Diane Reinhard is here for her last appearance. It's sad. You know, I was talking to the staff here earlier, and I was saying, you know, I remember this is, I think, the 6th or 7th time you would have been on. You're on the show. You've been on every semester that we've had the show, and I said, I remember the first time you were going to be on. I was so nervous because I thought I was interviewing the President of the United States, and I was so nervous because Dr. Reinhardt's coming down. I think every word that night was scripted. And then I threw the script out, I think, when you got here, because you are truly one of the nicest people that I've ever met. I mean, I could go on for hours.
Thank you.
I love having you on the show.
You're very kind. You're very kind, Mark. But, you know, you didn't appear nervous. You have never appeared nervous when I've been on.
I was that night.
Well, you know, now that you don't appear nervous, and you didn't during the first time, so it's amazing. But I wonder, what are we going to do without having your show? You know?
Well, they'll find someone else. You'll still come down, I'm sure.
Well, I hope so. I hope I'm invited. It was very nice that you invited me.
Well, it's fun.
It is.
It's a lot of fun. So let's have some fun.
Okay.
Let's talk about the state of this university. What's the state of Clarion University?
I can tell you that I think it's fabulous, but it's not just me thinking it's fabulous, because sometimes, you know, people have a tendency to think that university presidents may be a little prejudiced, but
Slightly.
we just finished a major 10-year accreditation visit, and we had a team of people in a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if you saw the headlines in the Clarion Call. I was quoted as saying, we couldn't have asked for a better review. We spent 2 years doing a self-study, and we had a great group of faculty and staff and students working on the self-study. Bill Sharp, a faculty member in chemistry, led the effort and did an outstanding job. Ralph Leary, who you may know, professor in English, was the editor, and he was, both of them were cited as being, you know, just very, very competent in the self-study report. But they came back and told us that really we have an outstanding university. And of course we knew that, but it's nice to have it be reaffirmed by outside professionals that come in. They talked with student leaders. They talked with students right on campus. They just stopped students. And students had very complimentary things to say about the university. They were very pleased with what they saw in terms of the facilities. They thought our faculty were great, and it was just a very, very positive review. And I was delighted because it reaffirmed what I've always known, that this is a very special place. It's a special place where students can really get a fine education, and it's a great place to work.
It's a fun campus, fun town. And it's only going to get better because right down the street from where we're sitting now, what was the Magnolia Estates complex is now going to be some housing for students.
That's right, and I think that the Foundation Board is to be commended for taking the initiative. It's a lovely piece of property, as you know. You said that you've been on it. It's close to 70 acres. We know that there's a real need to provide alternative kinds of housing for students. You know, they've been asking for that. And so apartment-style housing is something we really need. We want it to be a special place. We want it to be upscale, you know, with some amenities so that students can really enjoy different types of learning environments while they're living environments while they're at Clarion University.
I think it's going to be interesting down there. But one thing that I was talking to you about before the show was the foundation's going to run Magnolia Estates.
That's right.
So it's not like these are going to be Ralston and Wilkinson and in the residence halls we know. That's not what's going on down there. The thing that people have asked me about, and I'm still confused about, and I know you guys are still hammering out all the details, governance of these properties. Is it going to be run like a residence hall where there are these, obviously it's apartment style, but is it where there are these guidelines set out? Because it's not run by the university, it's run by the foundation. How is that governed?
Well, all the policies and procedures that will govern the Magnolia Estates have not been ironed out, but it will be run through the foundation. But there'll be, you know, ways in which the university is, you know, involved in helping to design policies and procedures. You know, because it's apartment style, you know, it's not like you would need, you know, a chandler.
Right.
You know, there may be some interest in some food options, but it is apartment style. We're thinking about, right now, we're working with a subset of the Foundation Board under the leadership of Jim Cribble and talking about master planning issues. You know, what other things do we want on that 70 acres? How can we make sure that the quality of the space is not lost by overbuilding, you know, apartment housing. So it is something that I think that is going to be a really wonderful addition to this university. Those policies will sort themselves out. You know, the foundation may decide to, you know, contract with the university for some things. They may decide to contract entirely with an outside management firm to do the whole management of the Magnolia Estates. So we really don't know. All I know is that there's a real commitment on that board. Chuck Leach is president of the Foundation Board. There's a real commitment to see that it is a high-quality living environment. And it'll be a great addition to this university.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. Time flies when you're here. We're already taking a break. We're going to be right back talking more with Dr. Reinhard. And Maggie is down here. I just actually heard her over here. We always say we're going to get her on the air. We will get her on the air tonight. Stay tuned for that. We'll be back after this.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, you know, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. I mean, that's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Fox's Pizza Den. Fox's Pizza Den is located on Old Route 66 in Clarion and offers all-day delivery. Phone 226-5555. That's 226-5555. Fox's Pizza Den is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone 226-5555.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever been backstage before?
Cause you're the excellent.
I think you'll find that gravity is key in what I do.
Once was one, but now we're two.
I'm spinning out of control.
Oh. This portion of the program was made possible through a grant from Clarion Hospital. Clarion Hospital is located off of Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Clarion Hospital offers outpatient services, transitional care, as well as an emergency room open around the clock every day of the year. More than 400 employees and 80 physicians work to serve the community. Call the Clarion Hospital at 226-9500. Clarion Hospital, providing health care to Clarion County and surrounding communities since 1954. Welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis. My guest tonight, one of my favorite guests for the last time, Clarion University President Dr. Diane Reinhard. So I'm leaving in May, but you're leaving soon as well.
Well, I'm not actually leaving till a year from June.
But still.
Yeah, I know that I'm sure it'll go by very quickly.
Yes, your senior year does go by.
No, that'll be my senior year. Actually, you know, I feel this time of year is always, it's always very sort of bittersweet for me because, you know, you say goodbye to students that you've known for, you know, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7 years.
I'm only 4.
But it's really nice to see students leave, although it's sad to see them leave as well. But it's really nice that so many students have left a legacy, and I think, Mark, you're one of them. You know, with your real desire to see that you cover important things that are happening at the university and in the larger community, and so that's very much appreciated. And I think it contributes to the overall quality of the experience that everybody has because you did that. And I can't be at your party, so I'm going to be out of town, so I have to say that publicly. So you have you know, you have a nice legacy. You'll be a tough act to follow.
Well, they'll be able to do it.
I am a year from June. I'm going to move to my home state of Wisconsin. And I'm moving back to my hometown, which looks very much like Clarion.
It's colder, though.
No, it isn't.
It's
not really that much colder than Clarion.
Wisconsin, everything was snow all year.
Well, actually, Watertown is sort of halfway between Milwaukee and Madison, so it's in the south central part of the state. But it's a sweet little town, and I bought a house that's 70 years old that needs a lot of work. And after I spend about 6 months doing that, then I'll probably do something else. But I'm coming back from Autumn Leaf every year.
Oh, good.
And it'll be nice to come back for Autumn Leaf, you know, and just be on the sidewalk watching the parade. Although I do. No, I next fall will be my last.
Right.
You know, parade thing. So, but I'm looking forward to it. But it's also, you know, it's. My senior year is going to be a difficult one, I'm sure, because I enjoy it. There's no better role than being a university president. It's a real privilege to be a university president most of the time, not when you're dealing with budget problems, but when you're dealing with students and great faculty and all the good things that this university has to offer. It is really a privilege.
Let's talk about one of the bad things that you just brought up, budget problems. Not to abruptly transition to something bad, but that is going to be a problem.
It is. You know, the revenue in the state is really not looking very good. We're hoping that the revenue projections for March and April look a little bit better. Right now, they're projecting, you know, close to $600 to $700 million, and some people think, you know, it may get up to $1 billion. You know, we are, you know, the state appropriation that the governor is proposing is a -3%, and that's really troublesome for us. We're hoping to work with our legislators, and I would really encourage students and parents of students to contact their legislature to say, can you give us more help? Because we don't want, you know, unbelievably high tuition increases. Our students are, you know, they come out of Clarion with debt as it is. So we're asking for a little help. It's a crazy situation where we're hoping to get to zero. If you can just get to zero, you know, maybe we can handle it. But it could be a major, over $3 million cut for Clarion if we can't work collectively with our legislature and really convince them of the need for helping us out a little bit more in the state appropriations.
That has got to be just so difficult.
It is. It's not a pleasant thing.
Recently, I mean, we've most of the show been on Clarion is wonderful, and it is. I will say that as well. But we've recently in the Clarion Call we see some things, and it brings up the issue of safety again. We hear about robberies in residence halls, and every once in a while something will pop up that makes us think, how safe are we? What's your reaction to things like that? What's your reaction to students who then become concerned when they hear things?
Well, I think that everybody should be concerned about safety because it's safety in the larger community. We had a bank robbery at the mall. You know, Clarion is a part of the larger society, and I think that we are going to see some of that. You know, we do have a very safe campus. When you compare us with other institutions of comparable size in the Northeast, we are a very safe campus, but it's also true that we need to be more sensitive to the fact that some of these things exist. We need to make sure that we lock those residence halls, and I know it's terribly difficult when you think you're only going to be gone for a short period of time. We need to make sure that we don't keep those doors open. And then the university needs to be sure that we are doing everything we can to see that we have a safe campus as well. And so working with our public safety officers, I think we can always improve on that, and that's what we're hoping to do. We have some things where we work with students on safety issues, where we do, for example, walks around campus to make sure that there aren't any lighting concerns. But if any student has any concern about safety, they should please contact either Vice President Tripp or the Director of Public Safety, Dave Tajewski, because we have to be ever vigilant about making sure that our record of safety continues to be very good.
Can't be too safe.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
We're running out of time in this segment, but I hear you're a judge at Creek Sing.
I am.
Looking forward to this?
I am. I think that'll be fun.
Now, how are you going to pick? They're all so good.
I heard that they really practice a lot, and well, and I have never had any formal voice lessons. And if I would be singing, you'd know why I never started in a musical. But I think that I will try my best, to be a good judge. I won't be the only one. There'll be other people who will be judging.
But that's fun.
Yeah,
it is fun. We're gonna take our final break. We're taking it a little earlier than we usually do because Maggie, I hear her. She's in my office. We're gonna bring her out here. I'm sure you've all seen her, but her television debut is coming out. Stay with us. Feedback continues right after this.
I don't want to eat.
Come on, just one bite.
I don't like it.
This portion of programming is sponsored by Reese Brothers, located in Drake Square Building in Oil City. Reese Brothers offers competitive hourly wage, plus daily bonuses, flexible scheduling, company-sponsored health benefits, and paid professional training. Call today at 1-800-365-3500, extension 684, or 677-9236 for your personal interview, or stop by and visit the Drake Square Building. Reese Brothers, where integrity and technology connect.
Hear the one about the rabbi and the reverend who like to party? A community coalition got them together with local restaurant owners. Now they host drug-free kids.
These guys know.
It's an example of what community coalitions can do. It's not the way to keep kids away from drugs. Visit helpyourcommunity.org to find out what your group can do. Because you get more.
When you get together.
Wardrobe for some TV5 News staff provided by Fashion Bugs located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. Fashion Bug also offers a wide selection of accessories. Fashion Bug is located in the Clarion Mall, just off exit 62 off Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 5.
And we're back, and Maggie is here. This is her behind. But
let's go this way. There
yeah,
we go.
They'll get her on camera too there. So to get her up here, look at that. To get her up here, what do you have to use?
I gave her an Altoid.
Altoid. So how about that? And what? It doesn't help the breast.
It doesn't help her doggy breath, but she's a good dog. She loves students, and she's very friendly. So when you see her on campus, you know, she'll be the dog that'll run up to you and say hello.
Look at her. She's going for the Altoid.
She's going for another Altoid, but she's 8 years old. And she's been a real good dog for me.
Now, I remember you telling me she grew up on the Clarion campus.
She did, yeah. She, you know, that's when I lived on the second floor of Moore Hall. And she lived there. And she would, when she was a little puppy, she was on that little porch.
Right, yeah, that's wonderful.
And then she would, she had a little doggy door, so she'd be in the backyard before the fence was taken down.
I like it with the fence down now.
Oh, I do too. It looks so much nicer. Did you see the picture of me taking it down with the bulldozer?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So that's it. We're out of time.
Oh,
what
Mark,
a shame.
The best of everything to you.
Well,
come back and see us. Remember, Clarion is your home.
Yes, it is. It is my home. It's my home away from home. It's my second home. Same best to you in your, look at this, best to you in your senior year as well.
Thank you.
And thank you for being down here.
You're welcome.
All these years.
You're welcome.
Wrestle Maggie. That's it. We'll let Maggie go.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. Next week, hey, I'm in Florida. I'm on camera one. Next week, I am in Florida. So we're, it's supposed to snow here next week. I'll be in the 80-degree weather. Haha. Repeats, you'll see this show again on Tuesday, and then a few weeks ago when we had some college students on here discussing politics, that will be on next Thursday night, and then I will see you again the week after. Thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend.